Did you know that the ancient Stoics believed mastering your energy could transform not just your mindset, but your entire life? In today's fast-paced world, finding ways to harness and direct our energy effectively is crucial. This video will explore specific strategies that can enhance your mental clarity, boost your productivity, and improve your overall well-being. These are methods I've personally tested and integrated into my daily life, bringing significant changes. Get comfortable and let's dive into these transformative insights. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Stick around as I'll share actionable steps and personal stories that illustrate these practices in action. Without further ado, let's get started and uncover the secrets to mastering your energy with practical Stoic wisdom. Mastering your energy with selective learning. Have you ever stopped to consider what influences your energy every day? Think about it. The books you read, the music you listen to, even the conversations you engage in. This is the powerful concept of selective learning and how it's not just about filtering out the noise, but consciously choosing sources that enrich our lives, align with our values, and enhance our energy. This approach is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which teaches us to focus our efforts only on things within our control and that contribute positively to our personal growth. Let's pull from a personal journey I once shared. It was a quest to declutter not just my physical space, but my mental environment as well. This wasn't about shedding old belongings, but rather about refining my mental inputs based on the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who famously said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." I started questioning every piece of information I consumed. Does this serve me? Does it align with my goals? Is it making me a better person? This process isn't about being elitist or dismissive of certain types of knowledge. Rather, it's about ensuring there's a strong alignment between what we consume and our life's direction. I once made a major shift from listening to any trending podcast to selecting ones that specifically nurtured my growth. These podcasts weren't just fillers for the silence during a long drive. They transformed my commutes into moments of profound learning and reflection. And what about the company we keep? The Stoics placed great emphasis on surrounding ourselves with people who embody the traits we aspire to develop. Following this advice, I started cultivating relationships with mentors and peers whose lives reflected their commitment to ethical living and purposeful achievement. These individuals weren't necessarily the most vocal or publicly recognized, but they were genuine practitioners of their values. Being selective also extends to being critical of the information we consume, especially in an era flooded with data. I've adopted a practice of scrutinizing every source for its credibility, integrity, and alignment with Stoic virtues like wisdom, justice, temperance, and courage. This critical lens helps in making decisions that are not swayed by the transient, but are grounded in enduring principles. I encourage you to examine your own inputs, the ideas you absorb, the voices you listen to, and the philosophies you allow to shape your thoughts. Are they contributing to a virtuous life? Are they enhancing your energy in a way that you truly master it, not just manage it? Remember, each piece of information you consume subtly shapes your character and your destiny. The Stoics' Guide to Enduring Life's Marathon. In the journey of life, just like in a marathon, the path isn't always straight or free of obstacles. The Stoic view on this is profoundly insightful. They teach us that life at its core is about endurance. This isn't just about the capacity to withstand hardship, but about embracing it as a necessary component of achieving anything worthwhile. Stoicism doesn't promise an easy life. Rather, it offers a framework for maintaining inner peace and resilience in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. Consider the metaphor of the marathon. In a literal marathon, runners don't sprint all the way. They pace themselves, they manage their energy wisely, and most importantly, they keep moving forward mile after mile. Similarly, in life, Stoicism teaches us the importance of pacing ourselves, managing our personal energies, and enduring through hardships. It's not the speed at which we move that matters most, but our persistence, our commitment to keep going no matter the pace. Now let's bring this closer to home with a practical example. Think about any long-term project you've undertaken. Maybe it was earning a degree, climbing the career ladder, or building a relationship. These aren't sprints, they're marathons. There are moments of fatigue, doubt, and wanting to give up. But here's where Stoic endurance shines. It's about recognizing that these challenges are part of the course. They are not roadblocks, but signs that you are on the path of growth. Stoics like Seneca would say that it is not the absence of challenges that makes us successful, but our response to them. This perspective shifts how we view our personal and professional lives. Instead of expecting a smooth ride, we prepare ourselves for a varied terrain. We learn to conserve our energy for the long haul, to use our resources wisely, and to remain steadfast in our commitments. And just like marathon runners have their strategies to cope with physical exhaustion, we can develop mental strategies to handle psychological stresses. For example, practicing daily meditation or journaling can be our way of training for the long-term challenges. Moreover, enduring through a marathon requires not just physical stamina, but a powerful mental game. This aligns with the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control: our thoughts, our reactions, and our attitudes. Just as a runner focuses on their breathing and stride, ignoring the cheering or the other runners, we too can focus on our own actions and reactions, rather than getting distracted by external circumstances. In embracing this Stoic marathon mindset, we also learn to appreciate the journey itself, not just the finish line. There's beauty in the struggle, growth in the challenge, and joy in the perseverance. This doesn't mean we don't aim to win. It means we understand that every step, every breath, and every moment of persistence is a victory in itself. Practical Stoicism for everyday resilience. The concept of the marathon, deeply entrenched in Stoicism, is a powerful metaphor that we can apply to virtually every aspect of our lives. It's not merely about endurance in the face of adversity, but also about the steady, disciplined pursuit of our goals, no matter the domain, be it personal development, career advancement, or maintaining relationships. Say you're starting a new business. The excitement and adrenaline rush of the initial phase can feel a lot like the start of a race. Everyone's cheering, you're pumped up, and the energy is high. However, as the race progresses, the crowds thin, the cheers diminish, and you find yourself on a long, quiet stretch of road. This is where the marathon concept truly kicks in. It's about keeping your pace even when the initial excitement has worn off. It's about committing to your business plan, refining your strategies, and persistently overcoming the hurdles that come your way. In Stoicism, there's a strong emphasis on focusing on what can be controlled and letting go of what cannot. Applying this to our business example, you might not be able to control market trends or economic downturns, but you can control your response to these challenges. This might mean adjusting your business model, finding innovative solutions, or simply deciding to keep pushing through with perseverance and resilience. Or consider personal fitness, a journey I've embarked on and shared over the years. Achieving a fitness goal is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not about drastic diets or extreme workout regimens. Instead, it's about integrating moderate, sustainable habits over time. The Stoic approach here would be to set realistic, achievable goals and then persist day after day. It's about the daily discipline of choosing healthier meals, committing to regular physical activity, and not getting discouraged by day-to-day fluctuations in weight or performance. Here, the Stoic practice of equanimity, maintaining a calm and even tempered approach, helps immensely. Another key aspect of applying the marathon concept is in our relationships. Whether with friends, family, or partners, relationships are long-term commitments that require patience, understanding, and continuous effort. They require us to sometimes accept people's flaws and our own, to communicate effectively, and to grow together through diverse life experiences. Stoicism teaches us that not every disagreement needs to be a conflict, and not every conflict needs to be a crisis. It's about the long-term view, building and maintaining strong bonds through consistent care and mutual respect. In all these scenarios, the underlying Stoic principle remains the same: perseverance. It's about not being swayed by temporary setbacks or fleeting successes, but remaining steadfast in your path. Just like a marathon runner who adjusts their stride according to the terrain, but keeps their eyes fixed on the distant horizon. We too must adjust our methods and strategies without losing sight of our larger goals. The marathon concept encourages us to think long-term, act with purpose, and live with intention. It's a reminder that worthwhile achievements require time, patience, and persistent effort. Whether we're talking about personal goals, professional endeavors, or relationships, applying this Stoic philosophy helps us navigate life with resilience and wisdom, cultivating integrity and leadership. Integrity and leadership are not just lofty ideals. They are practical virtues that can guide us in our daily actions and decisions, much like a compass steering a ship through stormy seas. Stoicism at its core teaches us that these virtues are essential for living a life of purpose and meaning. They're not about asserting dominance or moral superiority, but about consistently aligning our actions with our values. Consider the role of integrity in our personal lives. It's not just about telling the truth when it's convenient, but also about being honest with ourselves and others, even when it's difficult. It's about making choices that aren't just good for us, but right for everyone involved. I remember a time when I faced a tough decision in my career. I was offered a lucrative project that would have been great for my bank account, but didn't align with my ethical standards. Choosing to turn it down was a real test of my integrity. It was a moment where the Stoic teaching that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants resonated deeply with me. The decision to reject the offer didn't just keep my conscience clear, but also reinforced my reputation as someone who doesn't compromise on core values for short-term gains. Leadership, similarly, is often misunderstood. It's not about titles or positions. It's about influence and the ability to guide others towards a better future. In the Stoic sense, leadership is about setting an example. It's about embodying the virtues you wish to see in others, like courage, justice, moderation, and wisdom. Let's say you're leading a team at work. True leadership is shown by how you handle pressure, how you treat your team members, and how you approach problems. It's about showing up, not just physically, but emotionally and ethically. It's about being a steady presence, a source of support, and a beacon of accountability. Stoicism teaches us to lead by example and to be the change we wish to see. This is incredibly powerful because when people see you living out your values, they are more likely to be influenced positively. This doesn't mean being perfect. Rather, it means being genuine and admitting mistakes when they happen. It's about striving to improve not only yourself, but also helping others around you to grow. Moreover, these virtues have a ripple effect. By practicing integrity and leadership in your own life, you inspire others to do the same. This creates a culture of trust and respect, whether it's within your family, your workplace, or your community. Each act of integrity is a stone thrown into a pond, creating ripples that extend far beyond the initial splash. In embracing these Stoic virtues, we find that leadership and integrity are deeply interconnected. You lead effectively by living truthfully. You inspire trust by being trustworthy. This alignment of thought, word, and deed is what builds lasting relationships and ultimately a fulfilling life. Navigating doubts with strategic Stoic planning. Doubts can be like shadows in the corners of our minds, creeping in when decisions need to be made or when challenges appear insurmountable. Stoicism, with its pragmatic and grounded approach, offers a powerful tool to dispel these doubts. Meticulous planning. This Stoic practice isn't about predicting the future, but preparing for it in a way that aligns with our inner virtues and principles, ensuring that we're not swayed by fleeting emotions or external pressures. Imagine you're faced with a significant life decision, perhaps changing careers or moving to a new city. These moments often bring a surge of doubts. What if things don't work out? What if I regret my decision? This is where Stoic planning comes into play. It involves stepping back and evaluating the situation, not just from a place of fear, but from a standpoint of wisdom. What are the actual risks? What are the potential benefits? Stoicism teaches us to break down these decisions into manageable parts, to look at them through the lens of reason rather than emotion. For instance, when I was contemplating a major career shift, the uncertainty was overwhelming. Instead of succumbing to doubt, I turned to Stoic planning. I listed all possible outcomes, both good and bad, and then I planned for each scenario. I asked myself, what is the worst that can happen, and how can I prepare for it? This methodical approach helped transform my abstract fears into concrete steps I could manage. It wasn't just about mitigating risks, but also about reinforcing my resolve by preparing for all conceivable challenges. Moreover, Stoic planning involves setting realistic goals and creating a step-by-step roadmap to achieve them. This process itself is therapeutic because it shifts your focus from worrying about what might go wrong to actively working on what you can make right. For example, if your goal is to become more financially stable, Stoic planning would involve setting a budget, identifying ways to reduce unnecessary expenses, and perhaps finding additional sources of income. Each step is clear, achievable, and rooted in practicality. Another crucial aspect of Stoic planning is the preparation for emotional responses. Stoics are well aware that even the best plans can lead to unexpected outcomes. Therefore, they also prepare mentally for how to handle disappointments or setbacks. This is done through practices like negative visualization, where you imagine the worst-case scenario and mentally prepare for it. This might sound pessimistic, but it's actually about cultivating resilience and emotional stability. By considering these possibilities, you're less likely to be shaken if they do occur. Stoic planning also means revisiting and adjusting your plans as needed. It's about being flexible and adaptable, not rigidly attached to one path. Life is unpredictable, and our plans must be dynamic enough to accommodate changes. This adaptability is a key virtue in Stoicism, allowing us to maintain our composure and purpose even when external conditions shift. Building resilience through Stoic persistence. Persistence is a core virtue in Stoicism, and it's something that truly comes to life when we're tested by the trials and tribulations of our daily lives. Stoic persistence isn't about blind stubbornness or merely gritting your teeth and bearing it. It's about maintaining your course despite the challenges, knowing why you're enduring, and understanding the greater purpose behind your actions. Imagine you're working on a long-term project, something that's close to your heart, like writing a book, perhaps. The initial excitement gets you started, the ideas flow, and the pages begin to fill. But then, as often happens, the momentum slows. You face writer's block, criticism, or other distractions. This is where Stoic persistence shines. It's not about pushing through mindlessly, but about returning to your desk day after day, realigning yourself with your goal of completing that book, and reminding yourself why it matters to you. This form of persistence is deeply philosophical. It draws from the Stoic belief that our actions must be purposeful and aligned with our virtues. When you persist with a task, it's not just about finishing what you started. It's about embodying the virtues of discipline, resilience, and courage. These aren't just abstract qualities, but practical tools that guide your actions. For instance, discipline helps you set and stick to a daily writing schedule. Resilience allows you to bounce back from setbacks, and courage lets you share your writing with the world despite the fear of judgment. Moreover, Stoic persistence teaches us to focus on the process rather than the outcome. This shift in focus is powerful. Think about training for a marathon. If you fixate only on the finish line, the training can become a daunting, overwhelming task. But if you focus on each run, each step you take, and find joy in the improvement of your endurance and skill, the process becomes more fulfilling. The goal remains important, but it is the day-to-day persistence that will get you there, and that becomes rewarding in itself. This approach can be applied to overcoming personal struggles as well. Whether you're dealing with a tough job, a challenging relationship, or personal health issues, the Stoic way isn't to simply hang in there, but to actively engage with a situation with wisdom and virtue. It's about asking yourself, what can this situation teach me? How can I grow from this? This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities, turning the trials we endure into chances to reinforce our character and deepen our understanding of life. And remember, Stoic persistence isn't a solitary journey. While the philosophy teaches self-reliance, it also values community and support. Sharing your struggles, seeking advice, and learning from others are all part of the Stoic path. By doing so, you not only reinforce your own resilience, but also contribute to the resilience of others. Enhancing self-leadership with Stoic reflection, reflecting on one's own actions and decisions through the lens of Stoic principles, offers a transformative perspective on integrity and self-leadership. This form of reflection isn't just an idle pastime. It's an active, purposeful practice that shapes how we view ourselves and how we interact with the world around us. Stoicism teaches us that integrity is not merely about being honest or morally upright. It's about consistency between what we believe, say, and do. It's about aligning our inner virtues with our outward actions. Imagine you're facing a typical day with its usual pressures and temptations to take shortcuts or make compromises. Here, Stoic reflection becomes a vital tool. It allows you to pause and ask yourself, am I acting according to my principles? Am I treating others as I would like to be treated? This isn't about judging yourself harshly or aiming for perfection, but about striving for personal congruence. When you reflect on your day through a Stoic lens, you focus on areas where you were able to maintain your integrity and also on moments where you might have faltered. This isn't to dwell on the mistakes, but to understand them and learn how to improve. Self-leadership, another key aspect of Stoic philosophy, involves leading oneself with as much dedication and discipline as one would lead others. It's about self-regulation and self-motivation. Consider the discipline required to maintain healthy habits or to work steadily towards personal goals. Each decision to wake up early for a morning run or to choose a healthy meal over a quick, less nutritious option requires self-leadership. It's about making choices that might not provide immediate gratification, but are beneficial in the long run. This type of Stoic reflection also encourages us to be mindful of our emotional responses. Stoics are known for their emphasis on controlling reactions to external circumstances. When you find yourself in a stressful situation, whether it's at work or in personal relationships, the practice of reflecting on your responses helps you remain composed and responsive rather than reactive. You learn to ask yourself, is my response proportionate to the situation? Am I letting external factors dictate my mood and behavior? This mindful awareness is a form of self-leadership because it puts you in control of your inner state, not the circumstances. Moreover, Stoic reflection fosters a sense of personal accountability. It reminds us that while we may not control external events, we have full control over our values and commitments. When you reflect on your actions and their alignment with Stoic virtues, such as wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation, you are effectively taking stock of your moral and ethical framework. This daily inventory helps ensure that you are living in a way that not only brings personal satisfaction, but also contributes positively to those around you. In practicing these reflections, we not only affirm our commitment to living virtuously, but also enhance our capability to lead ourselves with integrity. We become role models not by preaching virtues, but by practicing them. Each act of reflection deepens our understanding and our ability to apply Stoic principles to modern life. Embracing the long-term journey. As we wrap up our discussion today, it's important to remember that embracing the long-term journey of life is fundamental to practicing Stoicism. This philosophy isn't about quick fixes or instant gratification. It's about viewing each experience, challenge, and decision with a new perspective. As part of a broader narrative that shapes who we are and who we become, this perspective helps us see beyond the immediacy of our desires or discomforts, focusing instead on enduring principles and long-lasting fulfillment. Stoicism teaches us the value of patience and the importance of viewing life as a continuum, not a series of disconnected events. When we adopt this long-view philosophy, our daily hassles and hurdles begin to seem less daunting. This is because we're no longer just reacting to life as it happens. We're actively weaving a rich tapestry that represents our lived philosophy. Every thread, be it a challenge overcome or a lesson learned, adds depth and color to the overall picture. Consider how this approach transforms our understanding of success and failure. In the Stoic view, what matters isn't just the outcome, but the process, the manner in which we pursue our goals and handle setbacks. By focusing on the long term, we learn not to be overly elated by success or unduly discouraged by failure. Instead, we come to appreciate each step of our journey as an opportunity to practice virtue, to grow and to refine our character. This long-term journey also encourages us to remain humble and teachable. Stoicism doesn't claim to have all the answers, but instead offers tools to help us navigate life with wisdom and dignity. Embracing this journey means being open to learning, adapting, and evolving as we gain more experiences. It's about recognizing that wisdom isn't static. It deepens and expands as we continue to engage with the world and reflect on our interactions. Moreover, embracing the long-term journey aligns with the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. This isn't about resignation, but about empowerment. It frees us from the unnecessary stress of trying to control the uncontrollable and allows us to invest our energy in actions and attitudes that truly enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. In practical terms, this might mean choosing to invest time in relationships that are nurturing and supportive, pursuing careers that align with our values, or dedicating ourselves to causes that we believe in. Each choice is a brick in the foundation of a life well lived, a life that reflects our deepest convictions and highest aspirations. Thank you all for joining me today in exploring these Stoic principles. Remember, the journey is long, but each step is a chance to reinforce who we are and what we stand for. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we learn not only to withstand the trials of life, but to approach them in a way that enhances our understanding of ourselves and our capabilities. Habit 3. The power of choice. Now that we understand that our emotions stem from our judgments and not the events themselves, let's delve into the profound Stoic principle of choice. This isn't about choosing what happens to us, that's often beyond our control, but choosing our response. And believe it or not, in that choice lies our freedom and power. The Stoics teach us that between the stimulus and the response there is a space. In this space lies our power to choose our response. This idea is incredibly empowering. It means that no matter what life throws at us, we have the last say on how we respond. Whether it's a rude comment, a financial setback, or a personal loss, our emotional response is ours to choose. Think about it this way. Life is like a complex dance. Events come at us in quick succession, and our emotions can react just as quickly. But like a skilled dancer who decides which steps to take on the dance floor, we can choose how to move with, around, or away from our emotional impulses. This doesn't mean ignoring our feelings. Rather, it's about acknowledging them and deciding the best course of action that aligns with our values and long-term goals. The key to making this practical is to develop what the Stoics called prosopsis, or mindful attention. It's about being aware in the present moment, recognizing our emotional triggers as they arise, and consciously deciding how we'll respond. By practicing mindfulness, we can widen that space between stimulus and response, giving us the time to choose our actions wisely. This power of choice is what enabled Stoic philosophers like Seneca to remain tranquil in times of extreme stress. Seneca suggested that we should rehearse worst-case scenarios in our minds, not to dwell on them, but to diminish the intensity of our reactions when faced with actual challenges. By doing so, we become less reactive and more responsive. Moreover, embracing this Stoic approach helps us build resilience. Resilience doesn't come from avoiding challenges, but from facing them with clarity and determination. Every time we choose a response that keeps us aligned with our goals, we strengthen our ability to handle future challenges more effectively. Habit 4. Techniques for action over emotion. As we delve deeper into the Stoic practice, it becomes clear that knowing you have a choice isn't enough. You need effective strategies to exercise that choice wisely. Here are some time-tested techniques drawn from Stoic wisdom that can help you choose your actions over your emotions, turning potential turmoil into triumph. One pivotal technique involves the simple yet powerful act of pausing when an emotion flares up. Imagine you're in a heated discussion. Instead of immediately reacting, give yourself a moment. This pause is a buffer, giving your rational mind time to wake up and process the situation. During this brief interlude, you can assess the emotion. Is it anger, frustration, fear? Acknowledging what you feel can diminish its overwhelming power, allowing you to respond rather than react. Another Stoic strategy is to reframe your thoughts about the situation. This cognitive reframing involves shifting your perspective to see the event differently. If someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of getting angry and assuming malicious intent, you might consider other explanations. Perhaps they're rushing to an emergency. Changing your narrative about the event can change your emotional response to it, helping you maintain your composure and perhaps even empathize with the other person. Values-based decision-making is another cornerstone of Stoic practice. Here you make decisions based on your core values, not fleeting emotions. Ask yourself, does reacting with anger align with my values? What would the best version of myself do in this situation? By aligning your actions with your values, you ensure that your responses contribute to the person you aspire to be, rather than a momentary emotional state. Emotional acceptance is crucial too. This doesn't mean resigning yourself to feeling bad. It means accepting that you're feeling a certain way without judgment or immediate reaction. Acceptance allows you to understand your emotions better and manage them proactively. It's like observing the clouds as they pass by in the sky. Notice them, but don't get carried away by the storm. Each of these techniques isn't just about handling a particular emotional moment. They are about cultivating a life where you consistently choose actions that reflect your rational and reasoned decisions. Practicing these techniques regularly can turn them into habits, fundamentally changing how you interact with your emotions and the world. As you integrate these practices into your daily life, you'll find that not only do your emotional responses become more balanced, but your overall sense of well-being improves, allowing you to live more fully in alignment with your Stoic principles. Habit 5. Benefits of choosing actions over emotions. When we choose our actions consciously, aligning them with rational thought rather than fleeting emotions, we cultivate an inner stability that is apparent to those around us. This stability makes us more reliable and trustworthy. In personal relationships, this can deepen bonds as loved ones see us as pillars of strength, capable of supporting them emotionally rather than reacting impulsively to stressful situations. It means that in times of conflict or tension, instead of escalating the situation with emotional reactions, we contribute to resolving it, enhancing the quality and depth of our connections. Professionally, the ability to stay calm and collected under pressure is invaluable. In the workplace, emotions can run high, but the capacity to maintain composure sets leaders apart. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but rather managing responses in a way that is considered and constructive. Decisions made in this state are typically more strategic and thoughtful, leading to better outcomes and demonstrating a level of leadership that is respected and often emulated. Furthermore, choosing actions over emotions leads to personal resilience and mental toughness. The Stoics believe that our greatest trials are opportunities for growth. By facing challenges with a calm and composed demeanor, we train ourselves to handle future stresses with greater ease. This resilience can dramatically improve our overall well-being, reducing feelings of anxiety and depression, and increasing our life satisfaction. Essentially, we're not just reacting to life's challenges, we're actively shaping our journey through them. Another significant benefit is the development of self-awareness and self-regulation. These skills allow us to understand our emotional triggers and effectively manage them. This awareness then extends beyond ourselves, improving our empathy and understanding of others' emotions. With this enhanced perception, we can navigate social interactions more skillfully, adapting our responses to suit different situations and personalities. The practice of choosing actions over emotions equips us with tools not just to survive in our world, but to thrive. By embodying the principles of Stoicism, we don't just go through life. We grow through life, continually improving ourselves and positively impacting those around us. Habit 6. Overcoming challenges. Mastering your emotions and consistently choosing rational actions over impulsive reactions is no small feat. It's a profound challenge that requires dedication, patience, and resilience. In this journey, as Stoicism teaches us, we encounter numerous obstacles that test our resolve and our ability to apply philosophical principles to real-life situations. One of the first challenges many of us face is the intensity and immediacy of our emotional reactions. Emotions are powerful and can overwhelm even the most dedicated practitioners of Stoicism. They can surge quickly and unexpectedly, driven by deep-seated habits and instincts that have been reinforced over a lifetime. The key to overcoming this challenge isn't to suppress these emotions, but to acknowledge their presence without allowing them to dictate our actions. This requires a high level of self-awareness and the ability to pause and reflect in the heat of the moment, a skill that is cultivated through consistent practice and mindfulness. Another significant challenge is maintaining consistency and applying Stoic practices. It's one thing to remain calm and composed in a controlled environment, but it's entirely another to do so under stress in the face of adversity, or during an unexpected crisis. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, which involves visualizing and mentally preparing for potential difficulties, can be incredibly helpful here. This exercise strengthens our mental resilience by familiarizing us with adversity before it occurs. reducing the shock and discomfort when challenging situations inevitably arise. Furthermore, there's the challenge of skepticism, both internal and external. Internally, you might doubt whether Stoic principles can truly make a difference in the face of real-world problems. Externally, peers or societal norms might question or undervalue the importance of emotional regulation, viewing it as unnecessary or overly philosophical. Overcoming this skepticism involves demonstrating the practical benefits of Stoic practices, not only through words but through actions. As we embody the calm, rational, and resilient traits promoted by Stoicism, the effectiveness of these practices becomes apparent, not only to ourselves but also to others. Lastly, integrating Stoic practices into daily life poses its own set of challenges. The modern world is fast-paced and often emphasizes quick reactions and emotional expressions. To counter this, setting aside time each day for reflection, such as journaling or meditative practices, can anchor us in Stoic principles. This daily commitment turns abstract concepts into tangible actions, gradually weaving Stoicism into the fabric of our everyday lives. Overcoming these challenges requires a robust commitment to self-improvement and a deep understanding of Stoic philosophy. It's about embracing the process, knowing that each obstacle is an opportunity to practice and strengthen our Stoic virtues. By steadfastly applying these principles, we not only overcome the challenges, but also grow stronger and more capable with each step forward. Habit 7. Real-life applications. Consider a typical scenario at work. You've put your heart into a project, but during the presentation, a colleague interrupts with criticism that seems unfair. The immediate impulse might be to defend your work aggressively, allowing irritation or anger to dictate your response. However, applying Stoic principles, you could take a moment to pause, acknowledging your initial emotional response without acting on it. Instead of snapping back, you might then choose to address the criticism calmly, asking for specific feedback that could improve the project. This approach not only preserves professional relationships, but also enhances your reputation as someone who is composed and receptive to feedback, even under stress. Now imagine a personal situation such as a conflict with a partner or family member. Emotions can quickly escalate in familial settings, turning minor misunderstandings into major conflicts. A Stoic approach would involve recognizing the emotional triggers as they arise and consciously choosing to respond with understanding rather than reactivity. This might mean taking time to listen actively to the other person's concerns without immediately reacting or trying to solve the problem. Such a response promotes dialogue and understanding, helping to resolve conflicts in a way that strengthens relationships rather than weakening them. In another aspect of personal development, consider the challenge of self-discipline, such as maintaining a fitness routine or a diet. It's easy to give in to momentary impulses, skipping a workout because you feel tired or indulging in an unhealthy snack. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our long-term goals and values rather than short-term comforts. By applying Stoic discipline, you can remind yourself of the reasons behind your choices, reinforcing your willpower to act in accordance with your greater good rather than momentary desires. Moreover, Stoicism can profoundly impact our overall resilience and mental health. In times of crisis or sorrow, such as during a financial setback or the loss of a loved one, the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control, our responses, our values, our actions, becomes invaluable. While it's natural to feel grief or stress, Stoicism helps us navigate these emotions without letting them overwhelm us. We learn to accept our reactions as part of the human experience, but not to let them define our actions or our character. In each of these scenarios, the real-life application of Stoicism doesn't involve suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. Rather, it's about making a conscious choice to not be governed by them. This approach doesn't just help in isolated incidents. It cultivates a life of purpose, integrity, and wisdom. Habit 8. Scientific backing. One of the core Stoic practices involves regulating our emotional responses, which is closely aligned with what psychologists today call emotional regulation. This is not about suppressing emotions, but rather managing how we express and respond to them. Studies in the field of emotional regulation have shown that people who can effectively manage their emotions tend to have better mental health, higher satisfaction with life, and stronger relationships. These findings reinforce the Stoic view that gaining mastery over our reactions can significantly enhance our well-being. Neuroscience also offers insights into why Stoic practices are effective. The brain's prefrontal cortex, responsible for higher-order thinking, plays a crucial role in managing our emotional reactions processed in the more primitive parts of our brain, like the amygdala. When we practice Stoic techniques like mindfulness or cognitive reframing, we're essentially training our prefrontal cortex to take the lead in emotional situations. This training can increase our neural resilience, making it easier over time to choose reasoned responses over reactive ones, even during stressful situations. Moreover, the concept of neuroplasticity, or the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life, further supports Stoic practices. Each time we practice Stoic techniques, we strengthen the neural pathways that support these behaviors. This is akin to building muscle through exercise. The more we engage in Stoic practices, the stronger our emotional regulation muscles become. Research has demonstrated that consistent practice in mindfulness and reflection, both key components of Stoicism, can lead to changes in brain structures associated with awareness, empathy, and stress reduction. In addition to the psychological and neurological benefits, there's also evidence from behavioral science that supports the Stoic emphasis on habit formation. Habits play a crucial role in our daily lives, shaping our behaviors and outcomes. Stoicism teaches the importance of developing virtuous habits through repeated practice. This aligns with findings from behavioral science that show how the formation of habits can lead to sustained behavioral change, which is essential for long-term personal growth and fulfillment. By understanding the scientific principles that underpin Stoic practices, we can appreciate not just the philosophical, but also the practical value of Stoicism in modern times. It provides a framework not only for enduring life's challenges, but thriving amidst them, supported by a growing body of scientific evidence that these ancient techniques really do foster resilience, happiness, and a deeper sense of life satisfaction. Habit 9. Daily practices for implementation. One of the most effective daily practices is the discipline of mindfulness. This involves taking time each day to focus on the present moment without judgment. You can start simply by spending a few minutes each morning or evening reflecting on your thoughts and feelings. This practice helps create a mental space around our reactions, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with composure rather than impulsivity. Mindfulness can be cultivated through meditation, but it can also be practiced throughout the day, while eating, walking, or even during conversations, by being fully present and attentive. Journaling is another powerful tool in the Stoic toolkit. Keeping a daily journal can help you reflect on your experiences and the decisions you made throughout the day. It's a chance to evaluate what went well and what could be improved. This reflection isn't about self-criticism, but about self-improvement. Write about instances where you successfully applied Stoic principles and times when you didn't. Over time, you'll start to see patterns and areas where you might need to focus more effort. Visualization is a practice often used by athletes, but is equally valuable in Stoic practice. Each morning, take a few minutes to visualize how you will face the day's challenges with stoicism and grace. Imagine handling a difficult situation at work with calmness, or resolving a dispute at home with compassion and rationality. By mentally rehearsing these scenarios, you prepare yourself to act in accordance with your values when the actual situation arises. Another daily practice is to set clear intentions for the day. What Stoic virtues do you want to embody today? Whether it's courage, justice, temperance, or wisdom, choose your focus and remind yourself of it throughout the day. This intention setting can help guide your decisions and interactions, making it easier to live up to your Stoic ideals. Finally, it's crucial to practice gratitude. The Stoics believed that to be happy, we must appreciate what we have, rather than bemoaning what we don't. At the end of each day, reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. This could be as simple as a warm meal, a conversation with a friend, or something you accomplished at work. This practice not only shifts your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right, but also fosters a general sense of contentment and well-being. These practices are not just exercises, they are transformative processes that, when incorporated into daily life, forge us into more resilient, thoughtful, and balanced individuals. They ground the lofty ideals of Stoicism in the reality of everyday experience, enabling us to live more fully and react more thoughtfully, no matter what life throws our way. Habit 10. Practice these 10 daily Stoic habits. Starting with mindfulness training, it's essential to cultivate a practice where you deliberately focus on the present moment. This could be through meditation, where you begin by dedicating just 5 minutes each morning to sit in silence, focusing on your breath and observing your thoughts without attachment. Over time, you might increase this to 20 minutes or more. This practice enhances your ability to stay present during daily activities and reduces reactivity to external stresses. Next is the emotional log. This involves keeping a daily record of strong emotions you experience, the situations that triggered these emotions, and how you chose to respond. By documenting these instances, you gain insight into your emotional patterns and triggers, allowing you to develop strategies to manage them more effectively. Then there's the practice of deliberately exposing yourself to discomfort. This could be taking a cold shower, fasting, or engaging in a rigorous workout. The idea is to strengthen your resilience and fortitude, teaching you that you can endure and remain composed even in uncomfortable situations. This habit trains you to act despite your feelings, aligning with the Stoic value that external conditions should not disrupt our inner tranquility. Visualization also plays a crucial role. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself facing and overcoming daily challenges with composure and adherence to your Stoic principles. This mental rehearsal preps your mind to act according to your visualization when actual challenges arise, reinforcing your desired behaviors. A pivotal Stoic practice is setting a daily intention or a catalyst, a single impactful action that aligns with your values and moves you closer to your goals. This could be as simple as deciding to be particularly generous with your time or patience that day. By identifying and acting on this catalyst, you create a ripple effect of positive actions throughout your day. Incorporating micro-decisions is another key habit. Throughout your day, be conscious of the small choices you make, from what you eat to how you respond to an email. These choices might seem insignificant, but they add up and shape our character and destiny. By making these decisions deliberately, you strengthen your decision-making muscle, ensuring that your actions consistently reflect your values and goals. Ending your day with a gratitude slam can shift your focus from what went wrong to what went right. Forcefully articulate 3 things you're grateful for each day. This practice isn't just about feeling good. It's about retraining your mind to recognize and appreciate the positives, fostering a general attitude of contentment and resilience. A weekly feedback loop with a trusted friend or mentor about your behavior and reactions can provide valuable outside perspective and promote growth. This exercise requires humility and openness, but is instrumental in helping you see blind spots in your character that you might otherwise miss. Practicing the emotion-action split is about taking a moment to identify your emotional state before deciding on an action. Whenever you feel a strong emotion, pause, name the emotion, and then choose a rational response rather than acting on the emotion directly. This habit helps break the automatic link between feeling and reacting, allowing for more considered and effective actions. Lastly, daily philosophical reading, such as a page from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations or Epictetus' Enchiridion, can provide daily inspiration and reinforcement of Stoic principles. These readings serve as a mental nourishment that fortifies your resolve to live according to Stoic virtues. These 10 habits are not just activities, but are gateways to transforming your life in line with Stoic wisdom. As you integrate these practices into your daily routine, you'll find that they not only enhance your ability to manage challenges, but also enrich your life with greater peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Each day presents a new opportunity to practice these habits. Each practice a step towards mastering the art of living well. Let's keep building, learning, and growing together. If you found this discussion enriching, consider watching one of the suggested videos on your screen to delve deeper into the practical applications of Stoicism in everyday life. I'm grateful you're here, contributing to our Stoic journal. Until next time, keep embracing the wisdom of the journey.